To a new YouTube cast. Today we're going to be having a look at a game in the top left, spawning as the red Terran player is going to be Time, the best Chinese player playing for Team Kaisi. And in the bottom right, it is Creator, the blue pros player playing for Team NV. Ooh. Has this guy on his Nexus. I wanted to zoom in. This is the guy if I believe something is missing in so like your skin or your picture doesn't show. Blizzard puts this guy in as like a placeholder. I can't quite remember who it is. I think it got explained to me once. I think he was in Warcraft 3 as well. Whenever it said tooltip missing, this man would show up. The man who's now spinning around Creator's Nexus. Creator was opening up with the... I was going to say a very interesting wall, but this is not really a wall. This is more like Swiss cheese with the holes that we can see in here. It's absolutely insane. There's no resemblance of a wall either. Now, you can't really Reaper wall on this map because this is too big to wall with a pylon and 2 big buildings. I think you need 3 big buildings to properly wall this, but I tried it and I remembered thinking, well, this is completely useless, actually impossible. It's going to take you light years and then you still have to put the tech in the wall, so I wasn't a massive fan of it. Creator doing some work with his work on the other side. I'm surprised. He did a lot of damage here. So we have Nexus after core and Marine first coming out of Time. Now, I hear you guys think, well, Marine first, what does that mean? Fantastic question, audience. Let me explain this to you. So, when you open with a barracks before gas, your gas count is a lot lower than if you would open gas before barracks, which means that if you open Reaper, before you can afford the reactor and factory at approximately the same time, so reactor first and factory, you need to build a marine. So you need 2 barracks units before you can get the reactor. Now, if you skip the Reaper, you save 50 gas and thus have more gas for a faster factory, which means your factory time is just going to be improved by about 10 to 12 seconds, I believe it is. Maybe 14, 15 seconds even. Yeah, 15 seconds. About 15 seconds. Your factory is going to be faster. If you skip the Reaper and go straight into Marine, you can get a faster reactor as well, which in the end is going to give you 1 more unit. So altogether, it's... I like this. I really do. The only problem for the Terran is this. No vision. No clue what is happening. This could be a 1 base all in. This could be anything at this point. And Time is just hoping that it is one of the more standard things. Because if it is a proxy Stargate, he's going to be in a little bit of trouble. Well, proxy Stargate actually is kind of fine. Because your factory units are so extremely fast. So imagine this was I'm talking a 2 base proxy Stargate. So 2 base proxy Stargate from core first. The first oracles would hit at around 336, and he should be capable of getting a mine out, but he's going straight into the tech lab. Yeah, he actually doesn't care at all about what's happening. He has 0 information. He's just trusting on what he knows about Creator, hoping that he's not gonna be that he's not gonna be all-in some way, because also Proxy Void Ray just straight up would have killed him. There's like 10 different builds that would have killed him here, honestly. Here comes the hallucination. So, fun little build here. I think this was a Stalker Sentry Stalker. Or did he open with Adept? I think he might have opened with Adept, right? No, he opened with Stalker. So Stalker Sentry Stalker, then you scout with your hallucination to see what's going on. He sees a tank, he sees a medevac, and he sees the second barracks go down. Now that second barracks is a curious case. I'd be very confused. I'd be confused to see a medevac and a tank and a second barracks, because this setup, if you get a medevac and a tank, looks like a tank all-in, but then you see a second barracks and it's like, well, the second and the third barracks are there obviously to switch with the tech labs. This might be a Raven. This could be a Raven and then they swap. This is quite an interesting push. I haven't seen this one before, I'll admit to that. I think there's a good reason why we haven't seen it before, because it looks absolutely awful. This really did nothing. He held it with 4 Stalkers, and still Time is completely in the dark. He didn't end up actually getting a Raven or anything like that, just straight swapping. So I guess at this point Time can kind of guess, alright, I saw 4 Stalkers, most likely going to be Blink. I think he should cancel this Immortal. It's not necessary anymore, and it doesn't really add too much to the army. Third base is a little bit late, because he built that Immortal. It's of course a rather costly investment. He's gonna get an Observer out. It's gonna be the only Observer he will be able to get before he needs to start producing Colossi, like his life depends on it. Forge goes down right next to the natural gas as well. Here comes Creator. He's gonna pick off a single Marine, tank one tank shot, and piss off again. Hallucination doesn't see much of anything, sees a couple of Marines, sees a tank. Now ideally, Creator wants to see, hey, what is this factory doing? He wants to know if there's more tanks on the way, or if it's just going to be these two tanks and then follow it up with Widow Mines. Now, honestly, I think if you tell Time at this point that there's a Colossi on the way and range, I don't think he'd keep producing mines. I think that Time would either not build anything from the factory at all, try to get a slightly faster 3rd CC, or he would go into a couple more tanks, because mines against Colossi are just not very useful, because a lot of the time with Colossi, the TOS is going to be playing a zoning game, which is kind of what the mines are supposed to do, except the TOS just has more range. It's not, you know, it's like trying to zone with a stick while the other guy has a gun. Like, good luck with that, buddy. It's just not gonna work. I like this drop. I much would have preferred for it to go into the main base though, but I guess it is very unexpected to be at the 3rd base. There's no vision for Creator on the left side. He's gonna instantly lose 3-4 workers. And it's also gonna get him into a good position. These tanks are moving forward. This is a nice move. The moment he picks up, he is most likely gonna lose this medevac. Yeah, there we go. So 3 workers for a medevac and 8 Marines. Not quite worth it. This army seems extremely small at this point as well. So Time definitely needs to be very careful here to not overextend and throw away too many units and just straight up die to a counter attack the moment charge finishes, which is not completely uncommon. This position with the tanks is nasty though. The problem with this tank position is that it only really covers this area, so it's good against units that have low range, but the moment this thermal lance finishes up, like, these tanks should be basically done so, and even now already they seem to be pretty done so. Immortal not quite getting into the action, only this single Colossi actually shooting. This tank is doing a lot of damage. Single Colossi is trying to put in some work. Takes out the tank. I missed this drop. We also have a medevac going into the main, so a little bit of a multitasking monster here in Time. Boom, boom, boom. 12 workers go down, 113 supply against 98. Time really pulling ahead right now on the worker count. That's not what Creator wanted or intended. Only has 5 gateways as well. If we look at this situation, you see, alright, supply is looking quite bad for Creator, but he has a really good army. There's no real counter to the Colossi yet. There's 2 Colossi already. If he would have 8 gates, I'd be like, huh, counterattack with 8 to 16 charge lots. I have a difficult time seeing Time hold that. Difficult time, nice. But because only 5 gates, he's building 2 more. His unit count just isn't going to be that high. He's also focusing a lot on warping and extra stalkers, which I'm not too sure about. Mine count is extremely low, as expected. The moment that Terran sees these these Colossi, they cut all mine production. So charge lots actually have this small timing window where they're going to be very useful against the Terran army. Is there a Guardian Shield? Yes, there is. Guardian Shield immediately gets popped. Turret is trying to zone out these Colossi for a little bit. There is a bunch of Vikings. I believe it's 4. 4 more Vikings on the way as the second starboard also finish up. Here comes the army of Creator up in supply, but down in eco by quite a bit. Good start of the fight. Prism can't go down. He needs to micro this away. Okay, good stuff. Viking goes in. Blink forward to snipe the Prism. I think Creator has this. Yeah, this is what I was afraid of. Whenever you see these Terrans do a lot of damage, but in exchange they throw away a lot of their units, it isn't uncommon for them to just die to a counterattack with 2 to 3 Colossi. Now, it's still not over. We have another SCV pool here. There's only 3 Marauders in this army though. Prism barely alive. 2 Vikings trying to do the best they can. These Stalkers are not participating at all in the fight. Prism is gonna get sniped here, so no more reinforcements. But 42 workers have gone down on the side of Time. But the entire army of Creator just went down. I think the call here is to go into Disruptors perhaps. Or just get another Colossi. There's actually the Viking count is too little. He's gonna get a second forge and Dark Shrine, completely misreading this situation. Oh no. Gases, more probes. The only thing missing here is a fourth base. So he takes a fourth base now. Like he is so far ahead economically speaking that all he needs to do is not die. That should be the entire focus of him right now. Is just trying not to die. Now he sends probes out for scout, making sure that he knows where his opponent comes from. But his army is tiny. Send these zealots back. What are you doing? Creator. Okay, there's a super battery. Gets popped a little bit too early. Colossi pops out as well. It's gonna be a lift into the main base, isn't there? That's such a time move as well. Colossi is doing some work. Not the greatest micro here coming out of Creator. A lot of these front units are taking the brunt of the damage, not utilizing that range too much. But with the super battery, oh my god, what am I saying? Super battery, I mean, must have healed over 1500 HP on this freaking immortal. That guy just did not die. 6 kills on this Colossi as well. Now Creator ahead in army supply, ahead in workers. 2-2 is on the way. Dark Shrine finishes up. There's a single cannon here and a warp in, plus the Colossi popping. Should be able to deal with this. No blink, 5 workers do go down. Wouldn't mind seeing a pylon being built here for some aggressive Dark Templar. But I mean, the situation is looking very, very bad here for Time, who's only on 33 workers. Still has quite some income, and with these mules landing, he's gonna keep the income high. Problem is he can't really afford to get an armory 2-2 going while continuously producing units. And the moment 2-2 finishes for TOS, and there's no real counter to these Colossus yet either. Colossi. Yes, it's multiple Colossus at this point. 2 DTs being warped in. What is the scan count? We see 0 scans, 0 turrets. I have a feeling that the moment these DTs enter these bases, that Time will just call it a day. Say, alright, you got me. It's time to go. Slashes go down. Time still drops into the natural, but there's just a little bit too much there as well. And as the SCVs start falling like rain from the sky, Time needs to GG as Creator wins game number 1 in this best of 3. Let's up straight into game number 2. And as I take a sip of my morning coffee, here we are in game number 2 between Creator, who's up 1-0, and Time in the top right, who played a very risky opening phase of that last game, played a build that perhaps, at least on that map, isn't that great, right? With that ramp leading up to the natural, it's very difficult to push up there with armies. In general, a very good defensive map. That Romanticide, easy to turtle on. Even on 4 bases, I would say it's a relatively easy map to turtle on. And did manage to kind of punish Creator's lack of vision on that left side early on with the mine drop and that initial marine drop, but then sadly died to the counter attack as no factory units were built, no tanks for safety, just straight up units for attacking. Very aggressive player Time is. In China he used to have the nickname Little Maru or Mini Maru, I believe, back before he actually got good, because he was super aggressive always and was known for his good micro. I love the probe micro, by the way, that Creator has been showing. I think this was a Pylon Scout as well. Again, this weird wall, which is odd actually on this map. I didn't mind it on Romanticide because you can't wall it, but this is one of the best maps to Reaper wall, because you can build a gateway over here and a core over here, or gateway here, core here, and your pylon can be here, so you can hide the tech. It's actually impossible on this map for Terran to scout the tech, and that is a really big thing. That really can be underestimated. So Marine first again out of Time. I like it with a ramp. Did he SCV scout this game? No, he didn't. This guy is... He knows how to live, Alright, he's living life to the fullest, you know. Every second exciting. I would not be surprised if this goes to a game 3 to see Creator pull out some crazy early game tactics. Proxy gate, proxy stargate, something like that. If someone pulls this trick on me, God knows that the 3rd game is going to be a quick proxy stargate straight over here, as close to his base as possible, and the moment his factory finishes up, there's a void ray floating over, and all he has is 3 marines. So yeah, I'm liking the guts here on Time, but I'm worried for him. If Well, at first he needs to win this game before it can even go to a game 3. So let's not worry too much. Yeah, Twilight Council goes down on the side of Creator once again. We have Adept Stalker this time. Some trap. Oh my god, Creator. That's not how you want to start this game. And you say, well, he does survive, but when you open Adept, ideally you want to trade a little bit. You want to shoot a couple of Marines. So they imagine you're going out, you're shooting cans or something with your friends in the forest. I know everyone did this growing up. And then as you arrive in the forest, you shoot yourself in the foot. You could say, well, you're not dead yet, that's true, but it does hurt. That's kind of what happened here with the Adept. He's in the red health right now. He's in a bad spot, so he just goes home. He's like, yeah, I never signed up for this. Let me just stand in the wall. As we don't have a door, I'll just keep guard. So the reason he does this is in case any type of Hellion wants to come by. Now this time we have the exact same build, actually out of time. This time with a mine as a start. The way he plays and the way he positions his units makes me believe that he played against Creator a crap ton, and he knows exactly what he does. Because if you position your units like this, and he just plays regular Stargate or proxy Stargate, these oracles go absolutely ham. He's not even getting a Viking. His Marines are never in position in mineral lines. Like, he would be dead. Like, honest to God, he'd just be dead. Like, you lose 6-7 workers, and then he still needs to go, and then the second oracle comes in and just kills you. I have a very difficult time seeing how that would work out. But, I mean, it does work out, so it means he has good reads on his opponents. Also very important in StarCraft, of course, it's a strategy game. Here comes the tank up front. There is a battery here. Now this looks like it actually has some potential as the battery gets shut down immediately. Honestly, the way this build hits now, this looks extremely strong. 440 it hit. Holy crap. This actually looks absolutely insane. The timing and the strength at which this hit seems honestly to be kind of out of this world. So many Marines with it as well. And second tank making its way across the map. There's 3 wrecks behind this. I mean, it's not like this is super all in, but he's having good trades. There's no third base, and Creator is struggling mightily with this. There's absolutely no way that he gets good trades out of this. Yeah, this was a tearaway. He's just gonna die. He's dead. Oi, 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 oi. What a freaking build that was, eh? A true banger. Holy cow. Alright, that was a hard-hitting build over there. Absolutely bonkers if you ask me. I guess if you cut all the corners that you can and just are really intent on trying to kill one thing, it probably has a decent chance of working. Now, wait, what? What is this? This has to be a mistake. This was a pylon double probe scout. Maybe it's going to be a proxy gate. And okay, yeah. So this is exactly what I was saying last game, right? If someone would pull whatever it is that time is pulling, I'd proxy gate or proxy stargate 100%. And Creator is like, all right, I'm done with being abused. So in order to make it look the same, he sends in the probe. I love this because time might be like, hey, there's no scout. Maybe I should scout something. But now he sees a scout, so he thinks, okay, this is exactly the same thing as always. Instead, it's a proxy gate. This is so good. Actually, yeah, I 100% support this decision. This is a decision I would, and if Creator would run for president, I wouldn't endorse him, but I would endorse his decisions because they seem to be very good. If this is a Marine first, and it's gonna be it's a Reaper first. Oh, and this is built at the Reaper path. Oh no. Okay, well, I still like it. This was a good decision. Perhaps he shouldn't have built it on the Reaper path though. I'm gonna be real here, guys. Building it on the Reaper path, I'll say it, it was a mistake. If he builds it over here, I don't think there's much of an issue, but this really is pushing it, isn't it? This is really believing in yourself. Because time still didn't SCV scout. It still actually would have been fine. Okay, cancels the CC immediately. Bunker on the high ground. Rebuilds the CC on the high ground. We've all seen it. This diddle-a-doo. We know how it works. If he proxies a Nexus here, he's gonna be my new hero. If he doesn't, okay, lame. Not my new hero. Top 3 though. Top 3. Top 3 of my my super guys. Ooh. Bunker actually is gonna get shut down. Marines pop out. I feel like he almost could have chased that. Almost, not quite. Whenever I say these things, what usually happens, I think he could have chased it, then the Reaper chases, and then the Adept shows up. Doosh, final shot on the Adept. Stalker survive with 7 HP. That's really a classic, a Terran classic. 7 Terrans right now going, oh, I know it. I don't know what this guy is for. If he builds a second Nexus here, though. Oh, I think it's for DT. He's building a Twilight. If he gets DTs, I wouldn't mind that. And he would rise to rank 2 in my superhero list. CC same time as Nexus. I mean, this is good for time, right? I mean, he scouts it. He does the right response. Ideally, you scout it faster with your SCV, so you can build a CC on the high ground. But it's completely fine. Gets a Cyclone. Man, who hurt you? Getting a Cyclone. Afraid of like a... So there is some... Oh, there's not with a Nexus though. There's no builds with a Nexus. I guess only Oracle makes some sense. And Blink. Blink and Oracle is the most common. I just would... If I was him, I would build a tank. Also, my Terran is not even Grandmaster, so perhaps taking advice from me as a Terran is not the play either. You know what, time? I like this. If I can... Okay, he thinks it's Stargate.
Add on.
I think that's a fair assessment. I think Stargate and Blink are very common. And he gambled on Blink twice in a row, was right twice, and now he's like, well, I've been right twice, let me just be wrong once. Because you don't really need Vikings against Blink. It's really just against your Oracles. Same with the Cyclone, don't need that. A useless unit loses all of its value the moment Blink finishes. Like, you're gonna be able to do one push with it, but that's it. So unless you kill your opponent with that push or do some damage with it, the Cyclone was wasted resources. These guys are hella expensive. Hella. Under my umber, hella. Okay, it's 4-gate. Okay. Why did he think he needed a reinforcement point? He thought he was gonna lose this, didn't he? I thought he was gonna lose that as well, to be fair. And I was like, oh crap, I got 2 proxy gates. Can reinforce from 2 sides though, eh? That's something as well. Marines. I feel like he has no units for some reason. Like 10 Marines. Only build a single tank. That seems rather risky. Especially if you have a Viking and a Cyclone as well. Raven is being popped out. Here comes the Adept. Is he gonna go for the high ground? He's gonna get the high ground. And then cancels it. If he blinks straight up on the tank. Oh my... What? Well, that's unfortunate. He just 2 shots the tank. He should actually clear the bunker, I think. He actually should have cleared the bunker here. This... I'm not a massive fan of how that went. The start was really good, but I'm pretty sure he could have cleared the bunker. And once you clear the bunker, the game... Of course, he doesn't know there's no second tank on the way, but the game actually would have ended. I understand why he gets the Raven, so this Observer isn't in as much trouble anymore. But now the Marauders start coming out. I mean, this looks so freaking bad for time now. Oh, there goes a Marauder, there goes a Marauder. Cyclone actually putting in some work. First time I've ever seen Cyclone do that. Good Blink Micro coming out of Creator. He splits his Stalkers in a weird way, just like his gates are split. 6 SCVs have gone down. This is difficult to micro for a Creator, honestly. 8 workers have gone down, though. It's sloppy stuff. But he just has a little bit too much. 900 in the bank as well, so he's saving up for the carrier switch. He's gonna blink out for now, but not before he takes out 3-4 more SCVs, maybe a Marine here and there. Stim. Ooh, he already was on the edge. Not sure if Stim there was the answer. He needs to put a couple of units in the bunker and needs to start repairing there immediately. I think the play here is to put 1 Marauder in the bunker, keep the rest on the high ground. And then the moment he jumps in, you just Stim on top of him and you pray to God he miss micros. Because otherwise there's really no way you're winning this game, honestly, buddy. Oh, mine shots. Gonna connect with 2 stalkers, that's painful. But what's more painful is when you only have 3 marines and the other guy has 9 stalkers in your main base, in your production. 4 gates reinforcing, 3rd base is on the way as well here for Creator, as he wins game number 3, and with that wins the best of 3. Now, if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you didn't enjoy it, also subscribe. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, much appreciated, and I hope to see you all next time. Bye bye.